In Wakefield, we are high atop the stadium waiting for the two teams to come out for this big women's Betfred Women's Super League encounter. Wakefield sitting 8th in the table with their 2 points from 12 games, and the Leeds Rhinos already secured of a place in the playoffs. Where they will finish, though, is still up for grabs. They're third at the moment on 17 points, 4 behind St Helens, 4 ahead of Wigan. Those two teams meet tomorrow. Saints and Wigan, a 2 o'clock kickoff tomorrow afternoon. Big game for Wigan there because they are only 4 points ahead of the Bradford Bulls. Bradford travel to Featherstone tomorrow, again a 2 o'clock kickoff in the penultimate round of fixtures, and if Bradford can win that and against the York City Knights on the final round, which is on the 29th of September, and Leeds beat Wigan, then it will go down to points difference between who will finish 4th between Wigan and Bradford, who of course drew the last time out. Leeds drew at Saints last week. Wakefield beaten here 36 points to 4 in a spirited effort against the Castleford Tigers. Scored late on as well, much to the chagrin of the Tiger supporters. Jamie Hobbs is here as ever, and we'll go for the teams first of all before they appear. Wakefield first. It's number 2 Tara Moxon, 16 Michaela Reith, 27 Alicia Rhodes, 4 Chloe Billington, 25 Rebecca Anderson, 15 Saskia Lewis, 7 Emma Ryan, 28 is KD Mead, 18 Jess Woods, 10 Danny Swain, 14 Hannah Watt, 12 Reynard and Rebecca Brearley locks the scrum. On the bench you've got 21 Annie Mae Shackleton, 28 Georgia Cutt, 9 Erika Zanre and 22 Jessica Matthews. Much changed Leeds Rhinos side this afternoon, starting with Abby Iktuk at fullback. She wears number 30. 2 is Madison Laverick, 15 Sophie Nuttall, 16 Chloe Kerrigan, 24 Fran Goldthrop, 6 is Hannah Butcher, 14 Tasha Gaines, 13 Amy Johnson, 29 their recent signing Laurie Halloran, 10 Daniel Anderson, 11 Amy Stavely, 19 Ellie Frayne and 17 Shannon Lacey. On the bench number 8 is Danica Prim, 22 Ellie Oldroyd, 28 Paige Webster and 26 Ness Harriman. So much changed Rhino side. No Woman of Steel nominee Courtney Hill in the lineup this afternoon, nor Courtney Beavers or Caitlin Beavers rather, at full back. So again, I think as we saw last week against Castleford, teams using this game as an opportunity to rest a few of their key players perhaps ahead of the playoffs to come. Yeah,
I think they see Wakefield down near the bottom of the table, and I think it's the time to blood some of the youngsters and obviously give some of the more experienced players a well-earned rest for the big games, I think. But for Wakefield, I think they'll look at that team and they'll look at the performance last week against Castleford, and they might not think that a win's on the cards, but a win could be possible. You never know what might happen with the bounce of the ball. And yeah, some experience missing from Leeds. Obviously, they've got Prim on the bench. I think if things start looking like it's going sour, I think they'll get her on to get them moving forward a bit more. But yeah, Wakefield, a good side. First time we've seen Georgia Cutt back on the bench since the first game of the first round against Leeds. She's not been available until this moment, and yeah, she's on the bench, and she's a good threat with ball in hand. But yeah, I think for Wakefield, they've been really struggling to get a partnership of halfbacks to get them around the field, and I think that's really what's derailed their season, to be honest. But new coach, a couple of new players going in there, and here they come out, both teams in blue.
Yes, apologies for the kit clash this afternoon. That's not our fault, of course. Wakefield in blue with the traditional red and white trim, white shorts and blue socks, and Leeds Rhinos in blue with amber trim, white white shorts and blue socks. We'll get it right eventually. So teams lining up for this Betfred Women's Super League clash. As we say, it's a big game for Leeds in terms of just securing that third spot and moving up perhaps into second ahead of that Saints Wigan game tomorrow. The way those two teams will be playing, you would expect a victory for St Helens. One thing we can say about Wakefield last week, and Coach Ken Kerr said afterwards to us, very happy with their attitude. No one expects them to go out and beat Castleford. No one probably expects them to go out and beat Leeds today, but the attitude is right. They're trying, and that's all you can ask for. The ball about to be placed on the kicking tee. Leeds will be attacking the hospitality end of the Mobile Rocket Stadium. Not actually sure if it's got an official name, to be honest. It's got plenty of unofficial names. Wakefield attacking the north stand in this first half. Don't forget to get involved on Facebook. Make sure you share the video. Make sure as many people are watching as possible. Some top quality Women's Super League action this afternoon. Yeah, Glenn's not happy with the kick clash. Nothing we could do, Glenn. You'll be able to tell which thing's which as we kick off. Well, the best of kickoffs from Leeds, and Wakefield take possession just short of the 40-metre line. So much so that half the team are ready, having to run up, ready to take the ball for the first tackle. So Wakefield in possession in the early knockings of this game. Make their way up to the 40-metre line. Going down on this short side, and staying in field there is number 27, Alicia Rhodes, who was involved in the thick of the action last weekend against the Castleford Tigers. As they make their way up over the halfway line. There's Katie Mead, who's just passed the halfway line. So wait for now, move the ball up onto that right-hand side towards the main stand. Again, she's not able to make too many metres here, and on the final tackle already, as you can tell, it's a breezy day here at the Mobile Rocket Stadium. That's not a bad kick from Wakefield. They let the ball bounce, Leeds, and under no pressure there, and it is a penalty. The Wakefield chasers offside, so not the best of starts for Wakefield. They're giving away the penalty. And Leeds will kick for field position, though in this win, I'm not sure how far they'll be able to get it. Win might be against Leeds in this first half, as we saw from the kick-off, but not a bad one there from Tasha Gaines. And Leeds will start 40 metres from their own line. Still 0-0, of course. Leeds' first possession of the match. Interesting how Leeds get on this afternoon. A few of their key players not involved today. Likes of Courtney Hill, as we mentioned, the Woman of Steel nominee from the Rhinos, who's been a key part of their success so far this year. But they move the ball up over the halfway line. It's in the arms of Amy Johnson, who's taken down 40 away from the Wakefield line. Bit of a messy play the ball there. Wakefield player down injured at the moment, which Leeds will gate another 10 metres, and the referee stops the clock. As the trainer comes onto the field, it was Danielle Anderson there who took the ball up another 10 metres. One of the impressive forwards for the Rhinos this season. The touch that comes on, not quite sure what he's there for. Not just about where the ball is, obviously. It's a bit of a breaking play already, still 0-0. Definitely, if you are watching on Facebook this afternoon, make sure you share the link. As many people watching this afternoon as possible. A beautiful summer's day here at the Mobile Rocket Stadium. Say we're in September. Very nice. A bit quieter than it was last night, though.
Yeah, what were the 6.5, was it?
6.5, yeah. Very tense for the first half, but very professional performance from the men yesterday.
Never in doubt, was it, Rich? You ever worried?
Secured their Super League status, and it looks like Wakefield are going to have to make a change earlier on. And as you mentioned earlier, Georgia Cutchy comes off the bench only after a couple of minutes, and it's a slight delay while the Wakefield player who has gone down injured is able to be moved, because she's currently right in the middle of the field and right in the middle of the Leeds attacking line. So just an early breather for these players. It's warm down there, so want to keep moving in this Fred Women's Super League encounter. Leeds, as we mentioned, looking for that second place, although you would fancy Saints to win on home soil tomorrow against the champions Wigan. Castlewood, of course, will win the League Leaders' Shield should they pick up a point against York City Knights on Tuesday night. Leeds, the reigning Challenge Cup winners.
I think, Bex has taken a clout to the nose. Rebecca Braley, loose forward. I think best friend Claire Reynard had the same last time, and she had the table,
yes.
Yeah. So it should be made up with that, Bex.
That's an early disappointment for Wakefield as Leeds resume and make their way up already to the 20-metre line. Good run there from the Rhinos as they start bang in front of the post about 15 metres away. They switch the ball onto the left-hand side and through the gap, and it is going to be...
No,
bounced it down, and the referee says no, and there will be a tackle, and it will be Will they be caught in goal? If they will, it be, of course, a scrum to Wakefield. They push their way out, playing rugby union there. A bit of a rolling maul,
I think
maul or a ruck. I can't remember
do
which.
have a couple of rugby union players that they've managed to attract. I think a couple of them, Chloe Billington in the centre, she's been good all year, and I think she was missing last year. I think last week, against Castleford, they're just starting back. So it's good that we're actually playing Saturday, because I think if it was Sunday, we'd have missed a couple.
Yeah, the off-field dramas regarding what time this fixture was going to kick off, thankfully all put to bed as Georgia Cook comes off the bench, and a decent run there, bumps off one, but eventually taken down by 3 Rhinos as they work the ball out from their own 20-metre line. Still the metre there at the play the ball, which is all good for Wakefield, as it's Tara Moxon now who's taken down just over the 30-metre line. So Wakefield looking for some momentum, looking for some metres here as well. Tough tackling Leeds defence. Mead there taken down just outside the 30, so not quite getting the metres just yet. The Trinity side. Let's come to the final couple of tackles. Can they find a way through this Leeds defence? Not the best of play the balls, but wait for get it out onto the right hand side, and over the 40-metre line goes Reynard. Good running there. Yeah, very good means after attack. Still going is Reynard. Great run there from Reynard. That'll give the Wakefield players a boost as they hit the final tackle. A good 15 metres ahead of where they probably could have been there. Loose defence there from Leeds as Wakefield kick the ball down the field and turn the Leeds Rhinos around, which is very good news indeed. Fran Golf up there eventually picking the ball up, and he's taken down just short of the 10-metre line. So good set there by Wakefield after Leeds could have scored, and now they've got the job of trying to pin Leeds back as far as possible. That's going to be one of the keys to this game, as a Leeds player now breaks through the tackle and gets the ball out onto this left hand side, and they're now taken down 30 metres out from their own line. So Leeds in possession, still 0-0 if you just joined us here live on Facebook here at the Mobile Rocket Stadium. A beautiful day here down at the Rockets, as Shannon Lacey's taken down about 5 metres away from the halfway mark. They play the ball out onto the left-hand side. It's in the arms of Amy Johnson, who again makes a good 10 metres. Leeds taking that ball all the way onto that left-hand side at the moment. Not much for the right-hand side here to do for the Rhinos here this afternoon, as it's the final tackle just inside the 30. What can they do this time around? Kick goes high between 3 Wakefield players, but eventually it was in the arms of Moxon, dropped backwards, and Leeds have got a very good chance of scoring here. They're just taken down just short of the line, so I think it was Ellie Frayne there who picked up the ball from that error from Wakefield. Leeds have got tackles in hand here, and they do go down this right hand side, this time from the always impressive Amy Staveley. She's taken down a couple of metres short, so big defensive effort here needed for Wakefield, as it is a try, and it's Danielle Anderson. I said many times throughout the season, if you've seen the Rhinos in action, she certainly runs a lot bigger and taller than she is. Danielle Anderson with the opening try for Leeds, forcing the error from Wakefield, taking advantage of that, and they lead by 4 points to 0.
Yeah, I think it were the full-back Tara Moxon once. I think she took it off a standoff, out of the confusion between her and the standoff who were going to take that, and I think Emma was about 3 foot, and I don't think that ball off of her, and I think she got a little bit in the way of Tara Moxon, and she coughed that ball up. And yeah, I think keeping Rhinos away 5 tackles 2 metres away from line, we're going to be a hard ask, especially when you've got players like you say, like they did well to stop Johnson and then Anderson. They're both pocket rockets out of the battleships.
Yeah, very good pack, the Rhinos, as Tasha Gaines lines up the kick. Usually, of course, this is Courtney Hill's job, not in the lineup today. The captain for this season, Woman of Steel nominee. It'll be interesting when they release the votes, who's voting for who this year, as Gaines pushes the kick wide. So 4-0 the scoreline in the early stages here at the Mobile Rocket in favour of the Leeds Rhinos.
Is it do they unleash the...
Well, they did last year, and of course in rugby league we don't trust the men anymore to vote on the Man of Steel, because they all vote for their mates. Well, not all of them, but some of them. Yes. Well, the women can be trusted, you see.
So I think earlier on in the group chat of the ladies, they said none of you have voted, girls from Wakefield, for a player. We've not had an email. Well, You've got an hour to get your votes in. We'll keep it open an hour to get your votes in. So I don't know if that swayed the votes.
Well, it could have done.
Might have been stuck in the spam folder, maybe. Or maybe they forgot that Wakefield were in the Super League and didn't send it out to those registered players. I don't know.
Surely not. As Wakefield, the ball falls off the kicking tee. Wakefield about to restart the match. Leeds Rhinos leading by 4 points to 0 here at the Mobile Rocket Stadium. Betfred a Women's Super League action. Leeds, of course, made it to the grand final last year, losing at the final hurdle against the Wigan Warriors. Now, one thing we can say about Leeds so far in this game, they have been very hesitant with kicks. Eventually they're picked up by Gaines, and they play the ball on to the centre of the field. So Leeds starting with that 4-point lead. Plenty of defensive work here to do from this Wakefield side, as again Anderson makes another big run and picks up a good 20 metres, and he's taken short of halfway. So these Leeds forwards doing the job once again. Gets just over halfway there by falling over. Well, they do like that. You see it in the men's and the women's game. Shannon Lacey there making the break, and it's taken down well there by Wakefield's Claire Reynard. All over the field, all action, second rower. As Leeds now break down this left-hand side, they've got a very good chance, and they are in for a try. It's Abby Eatock, the full-back today. Almost a Caitlin Beavers-esque sidestep there, and Leeds extend their lead quickly. They go into an 8 points to 0 lead. Abby Eatock with the second Rhinos try.
Yeah, I think Wakefield were just trying to slow them down, weren't they? But that drive from Anderson that got them over the halfway. Momentum was a big thing in rugby league, isn't it? And once you've got players coming onto the ball at speed and you're struggling to make that 10 metres back, yeah, they're all going to be on the back foot with Wakefield. And a great try from the full-back. She stepped inside and went, what was it, 40 metres, 30 metres?
Yeah, something like that. As Leeds line up the conversion. Welcome to all our viewers around the world on Facebook. I know plenty of Rhinos fans will be watching this afternoon. Big games ahead for this Leeds side. As mentioned, just fell to the final hurdle last year in the grand final in awful conditions against Wigan in Manchester. But Gaines looking to put them into a 10-point still lead here. Kick this time at the opposite side of the posts. This one goes through with the uprights. So Leeds open up a 10 points to 0 lead here at the Mobile Rockets. Wakefield, if you saw in the very first game of the season over at Wheatwood, Leeds gave them very little possession, and when they do have possession, Wakefield, they need to do something with it, and it's easier said than done, of course, especially against this very good, well-drilled defensive side that Leeds Rhinos are. As we're about to resume, see how they deal with the kick-off this time, the Rhinos. I think Adam Cuthbertson's here today. Scored a try for the men yesterday in their season-closing victory over the Warrington Wolves.
They started Mad Monday on
Well,
Saturday.
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
You might join in. You might be one of the 100 live.
You might be. If you're watching, good afternoon.
In Skyrack.
As Leeds through the centre of the field. This time it's again with Shannon Lacey, and she breaks through a couple of tackles and breaks over the 40-metre line, loses the ball this time, and the referee will judge that one to be a knock-on. As Wakefield forced the error.
Loose carry with that one. I know she did attack the ball, but it did look like a loose carry. Yeah.
And, yeah, Wakefield will get possession from the scrum. Good defence there from Wakefield to force the error. And again, this is the opportunity now. Ball just short of halfway. What can Wakefield do with it this time? Well, we'll see as they move out from the bottom of the scrum, base of the scrum, and it is cut off the bench, who goes up and he's taken down just short of the halfway line. The combination of Amy Stavely there as they head down. It can't get past that halfway line at the moment. Again, Leeds just forcing Wakefield back. So they try and get the ball out onto this left-hand side now for Wakefield. It's in the arms of Moxon, who again is met by two Leeds players, but she is over halfway. Scrambles to her feet and plays the ball, and they go down onto the right here. Ryan with the ball, and then into the arms of Cut again, and she's forced back. This Leeds defence, and I know I'm overemphasising the point, but they've just lost another 5 metres there through that great effort from the two Leeds players. That looks a bit forward, but referee says otherwise, and Meady's taken down about 5 metres short of the 40-metre line. So Wakefield on the last. It's the arms of Ryan, who kicks the ball high, and again Leeds let it bounce, and they've done that a few times today, and it's up to Wakefield perhaps to force an error from that, but this time Leeds pick it up and are taken down just over the 30-metre line. They lead by 10 points to 0 here at the Mobile Rocket Stadium and move down this left-hand side. There's a gap here with Leeds unable to exploit that this time around. In the arms of Sophie Nuttall, who comes in, straightens up, and is taken down in the centre of the field, but just on the 40-metre line. He's not the best of passes there, and bounces from the arms of Daniel Anderson, and he's a knock on. So again, opportunity here for Wakefield with a scrum 40 metres out from the Rhinos line.
Yeah, that one wasn't in the breadbasket, was it? Right up in the face. I think Anderson wasn't expecting that. She wanted to come onto it at speed, and not with the service she were wanting there.
This is where you look to take advantage of a changed side, isn't it, with different players in the pivot positions for the Rhinos this afternoon than we perhaps usually see. Nicer pass there, lateral pass, I think it's fair to say. Well, it would have been fair to say, but the referee judges it to be forward, just a bit slightly late. So
yeah, Touchy gave him a nod there. I think he didn't see him.
Can't necessarily disagree with that, otherwise I wouldn't have described it as lateral, but they're much closer than we are. And Wakefield on the first.
Wasn't as bad as the other one.
No, not quite as bad. Wakefield on the first. Probably got a little bit too excited there. But Leeds will now start again. And again, not the best of passes there from the base of the scrum. Wakefield just need to try and put the pressure on here and go aggressively at these Rhinos players, as Anderson again breaks through the line and he's around the first woman. Can she get around Moxon? Yes, you can, but she's eventually taken down by two Leeds players as Moxon and Billington tackle the diminutive forward, if that's the right word, as Leeds come back onto the attack. They're already up to the 10-metre line, taken down just inside the 10. Plenty of tackles in hand here. They'll go out onto this right-hand side. It's in the arms of Lacey. It's just going to be held up and pushed back into the field of play. Eventually plays the ball and they go back onto the left this side, and penalty for offside. Now, in fairness, I know we joked about the kick clash earlier. I thought that was a great pass to one of the Leeds players. Unfortunately, it was in the arms of Emma Ryan, who's in Wakefield colours.
She was sneaking off the line where Emma there. She spotted that's what was coming, and she shot up, but
yeah, a bit too close to the referee to get away with that one, but never mind, as Leeds get a fresh set, and it's in the arms of Anderson, who's already scored one today and tries to claw her way over for a second, but they've got options left and right, and they will try and burrow their way over from a dummy half and knock on. So Leeds perhaps a little bit guilty as well there of having opportunities, not taking them, as Wakefield do take the opportunity of a quick tap. We've seen that here at the Mobile Rocket in recent weeks. Good thinking there by Wakefield. They've got this 7 tackle set, and they start about 35 metres out. Good thinking there by Wakefield's Hannah Watt as they head up towards the halfway line. What can Wakefield do here? Trailing by 10 points to 0. Into the arms of Ryan as they go down that right-hand side, and they are up to the halfway line again, but they're up against a very good defensive unit here. Can Wakefield take advantage of that Leeds error and get points on the board themselves? There's a Mead who's tackled centre of the field. Wakefield now with the best of passes there, but into the arms of Watt, who he's taken down. She started to move and he's tackled just over the 40-metre line. So Wakefield looking to put some pressure on here. Ryan looking for the options. And that was a bit of a hospital pass there, and unfortunately for Wakefield, it's going into the arms of Amy Johnson, and Leeds will get the ball and start their set just short of the halfway line, and Wakefield aren't set, and another opportunity there. They do like running at the line here, Leeds, and It's there at number 14, this time Tasha Gaines, who is dragged down just short of the 30. So again, danger for the Wakefield defenders. They look to lie on and delay things as much as possible. Referee giving a bit of leeway there. But here's another break, and it's Shannon Lacey. Half break, and I like throwing the ball around this afternoon. Lots of passes which could go either way. Thankfully for Leeds fans there, it stayed into Leeds' arms. They start 10 metres out, or just short of 10 metres out. Looking back onto this right-hand side, straighten up and taken down in the 10. Will Leeds show a bit more composure this time? Leading by 10 points now. It's in the arms of Anderson. Anderson now into the arms of Staveley, who's taken down. Last tackle. Will they kick? Will they run it? Let's have a look. It's going through the arms onto this right-hand side. Well, they had options there early, but it doesn't matter because they will score the try. And it's a second for Abby Eatock. I thought they may have gone out onto the wing there, but they didn't have to. Eatock with her second of the game, and that is a 14-0 lead to the Leeds Rhinos. Yeah,
I think Wakefield thought they'd dealt with that then, and they just failed to wrap the ball up and got it onto Eatock, who was coming back on the inside. I thought they went for the wrong option, didn't they? When they went to that one, they had it well wrapped up, but the ball managed to get out, and yeah, she's come on the inside and put that one over the whitewash.
Now, we don't play favourites here because we're purely neutral.
On the Wakefield Facebook
on the Wakefield Facebook page. But if there's a player I enjoy watching play, because she doesn't half give some lip to the opposition, it's the one who's just coming on the field right now. You'll see her in a moment, Erica Zanray wearing the number 9 shirt for Wakefield. You knew who I was talking about that?
Yep.
Wearing the number 9 shirt for Wakefield. That's what I did enjoy last week, watching from the stands against Castleford. They weren't afraid to give a bit back to their illustrious rivals last week.
I don't think Ken's post-match interview of "we won the fight" quote would fit in line with what the RFL are trying to promote with the Women's Super League.
Well, it's all part of the game.
Yeah. Well, I was torn between putting the let's say the melee. I'll not say a brawl.
I saw it, and then you deleted it.
Yes. I had some a whisper in my ear to say it might not be in the best interest.
Well, I don't know.
But I also like to document the game and not censor what goes on.
As the people say these days, it is what it is. As Gaines steps up, looking for her second conversion of the game. Gets it over the bar, and that is a 16-0 lead.
Has anything happened from that melee? Have you seen any?
Well, I've not heard anything, but not to promote things elsewhere, but in the latest issue of 4020 magazine, on sale now, columnist Danica Prim, who I'm sure we'll see shortly, makes a very good point about the way the women's game is governed in terms of suspensions, etc., compared to the men's game. And at the moment, the Women's Super League comes under the jurisdiction of the community game. And things don't get out unless people somehow find out. Hence why there was the hoo-ha about suspensions ahead of the cup final. But we're back in action, and another good kick-off there by Wakefield. As Leeds run the ball up, and it's a good run this time from the two-try scorer already, Abby Eatock, looking to do as Tommy Makinson did in the Super League yesterday. Pick up a first-half hat-trick. Leeds already up past the 40-metre line as they play the ball inside. And again, it's another good run from Shannon Lacey. Gets the ball out of the tackle as well into the arms of Anderson, the score of the opening try, who pumps off one. Eventually will be tackled on that far side of the mobile rocket surface. Looking superb to say, had thousands of people on there last night after the game celebrating. But that's another error from Leeds. And like a loose concentration there from Amy Johnson, who knocks the ball on, and Wakefield will start just outside their 20, and it's in the arms of the player we mentioned a moment ago, Zanray, who plays the ball on the inside, and Wakefield straighten up, bang in front of the post, but a good 70 metres away, and the player's down injured. So a short break in play here as Wakefield bringing on that Shackleton.
Yeah, they've not been like Leeds, has it? These handling errors, they're usually a lot crisper with their skill than what they've been showing so far.
I think this is the danger, isn't it, of bringing in, of changing your team when you take out so many pivotal players. And
what do you think the reasoning is around that? What have they got coming up, Leeds? What is the format of the playoffs? And
well, they've got Wigan in a couple of weeks, Everyone's got a week off apart from Featherstone and York, who make up their fixture from early in the season next week. But then we go into the players which I believe are the same as the first versus fourth and second versus third scenario. So Castleford at the moment will be taking a home tie against Wigan, and then Saints will meet Leeds in some kind of form unless things change. Which, having seen
Bradford's hoping for?
Well, Bradford, if Bradford win their 2 games, they play Featherstone away tomorrow, which should be a tasty game down at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Got it right. And then the York City Knights in their final game being played, I don't know, because Oddsall doesn't exist anymore. You would expect them to beat York. Featherstone will give them a big challenge, so it could all be over tomorrow. And Wigan travel to Saints tomorrow, then travel to Leeds on the final game of the season. So it's going to be an interesting one. This doesn't look good for the Wakefield player, does it? They're just being helped off the field at the moment.
And I think after this one, Wakefield have just got Featherstone away, haven't they?
Yeah, which should be a nice afternoon. I might pop down to that one. I don't know whether to go there or to Leeds and Wigan on the final game of the season.
So they're asking if we can pull it forward from a Saturday to a midweek as well. Cause,
if it's a midweek, I might be able to go.
Yeah, so watch this.
Keep your eyes on social media.
But don't look at the Our League app. To be honest, this was going to be a Sunday. When the game got brought forward for Sky, this got tried to be moved to Sunday, but obviously Leeds had made all their plans around the Saturday, so we had to stick to it. And the ground staff have done really well to clear the terraces, because it's a week-long task is clearing the litter up off the stadium, but they've done a great job to get the games on today. Yeah,
you wouldn't know there was a game here yesterday, would you? It's looking absolutely beautiful, as she always does, this game old girl that is the Mobile Rocket Stadium, formerly known as Bellevue, as Wakefield play the ball through the centre of the field. Danny Swain, the captain. Her experience vital in this very youthful Wakefield side, who have had an interesting first year in Super League as they get the ball up to the halfway line. The play you mentioned before the game, Jamie, there in Chloe Billington, one of Wakefield's standout performers this year, and it's Zanre who plays the ball. Last tackle in the arms of Cut. Does she know? I don't think she did. And Leeds will get the ball on the turnover on the 40, so perhaps just a little bit of miscommunication there from Wakefield. And Leeds will start 40 out. The centre of the field, making no meters there this time. Leeds Rhinos leading as they are by 16 points to 0. So I think, not sure either coach will necessarily be too pleased with things so far in this one, as Leeds attack again down that left-hand side, and it is Rebecca Anderson this time, not Rebecca Anderson, Fran Goldthorpe rather, who is taken down over the halfway line. Leeds now into the arms of Prim, who throws the dummy, but he's again makes the meters after the tackle and taken down just outside or just inside the 40, about 35 out from the Wakefield line. Eventually she'll turn around and play the ball. Leeds having drawn 20 all last week at Saints in a nail-biting clash.
I don't think anybody buying that dummy off Danica was first hit up of the game. She's going to take it forward, isn't she? She's not going to pass.
No, she'll be looking for a try this afternoon, won't she? As Leeds get a penalty on 40 metres. Kick to touch. It's very breezy, as you can probably hear this afternoon, so not going to make too many metres. But inside the 20 again, Leeds. Wondering why I'm slightly confused. I haven't got a player on my team sheet with a 5 for the Rhinos. They've got a player with 5 on, which is slightly confusing, as it's in the arms of Hannah Butcher. I think he's the captain this afternoon for the Rhinos, in the absence of our usual half-back partner, Courtney Hill.
Number 5 says Laverick above it. I don't know if there's a different number for that. Oh.
As Leeds are in again, and it's Shannon Lacey this time. My apologies, I was going to read the team sheet properly. But yes, Shannon Lacey in this time, again down that left-hand side.
She's injured herself in the act of scoring that one. Oh, she's up, she's all right.
20 points to 0 to the Leeds Rhinos. I tried to work out those numbers written in black ink on black on the team sheet. So apologies. I've got to get excused, haven't you?
We've got a team sheet. We should should be happy. That's not always always a thing in the Women's Super League, is it?
Lacey's still hobbling there, so I wonder if there will be another change here for the Rhinos coming up, because no real need to risk her when you're 20-0 up in the first half with subs available. As we wait for the conversion. Be Ness Harriman coming on the field to replace Lacey. As we await this conversion on the far side. This will be a tricky one for Gaines. Kicked 2 so far. There's the angle, but not quite the distance, and that remains 20-0 to the Rhinos as we approach the closing stage of the first half. It's nice and warm when the breeze stops.
What better way for a Saturday afternoon? Sun on your back, watching some rugby.
If you're enjoying this at home, give the page a like on Facebook. That's what they do, isn't it? I don't know social media.
Was it like, share, subscribe?
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter. Do all the things you're supposed to do. Make sure you're sharing the video this afternoon. Make sure people are watching this. Don't be watching the football or whatever's on this afternoon. The cricket would be rubbish. Watch the rugby instead. 20-0. The Rhinos lead here at the Rockets. Kick taken, I think, for the first time, by Butcher and into the arms of Prim, who runs hard and straight into the Wakefield defence. And she's not happy with the bit of extra push there by Zanre, the tackle, but referee not having any of it, and Leeds will pick the ball up. Not the cleanest play the ball there, but again they make their way over the halfway line. As Leeds look to extend their lead. They play the ball through the middle this time. Again, it's Amy Johnson who's taken down. She's had plenty of metres made so far this afternoon for this Rhinos effort as they come down onto this right-hand side, and it's Prim who gets through one, but he's taken down eventually by 3 Wakefield players, and it's the final tackle. What will Leeds do this time? Looking for where Butcher stood, into the arms of Gaines, and she'll be the one who puts the kick up into the breeze, knocked backwards, and will the Wakefield player get out? No, it will be a goal line dropout already given by the touch judge way before the Leeds Rhinos defenders came to make that tackle.
It's a good job because she kicked it out, and I think there were no one there if Leeds had been played on.
20-0 then to the Rhinos as they will get the ball back from the goal line dropouts. Well, a bad one in the weather, and it goes to Butcher, who runs the ball up and runs past 2 defenders, taken down by another 3, and Leeds will start 10 metres out. Prim at dummy half here. What's she doing there? Play the ball out onto the left-hand side, and good tackle there. There's Aldroyd off the bench is taken down. They come to the right this side. It's in the arms again of Gaines. Gaines to Stavely. Stavely looking to get over the line and just held up short, held up over the line. So Leeds will resume again as they did at the start of this set, pretty much 10 metres out from the Wakefield line, looking to extend this 20 points to the lead here live at the Mobile Rocket Stadium in the Betfred Women's Super League. Prim again trying to get as close to the line as possible. Again, taken down by 2 Wakefield players. One of them may have hurt themselves in the... oh no, she's up again, it's okay. Gaines looking to make her break through the line. He's over and gets her first 4-pointer of the afternoon. Just broke through the tackle, and the Wakefield defence unable to hold firm that time, and that gives them a 24 points to the lead, and she'll have another conversion attempt on that left hand side, a bit closer though this time than the previous one.
Yeah, I think we've been all in this area of the field, haven't we? I think Wakefield not had much possession in a while, a lot of defending to do, and I think they're getting a little tired now.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a carbon copy of that first game, but I remember vividly throughout that game it was just all Leeds with the ball. Not necessarily that Wakefield did anything wrong, just Leeds constantly had possession. It's rugby league. if you haven't got the ball, there's not much you can do. As Gaines lines up this conversion attempt. 24 points to nil. Can she make it 26 and convert her own try? 2 from Abby Etok, 1 from Danielle Anderson as well. Pace of time. And left-footed this time. It is wide. So it remains 24-0 to the Leeds Rhinos. Not too far to go until the half-time, but into the last 5 minutes, or approaching the last 5 minutes. I said earlier, I don't think either coach will be happy. Leeds have not been as composed as you would expect for a top side earlier in this half. They have seemed to have got better as the half has gone on. Can they extend their lead before the break? They've got opportunity to do so here, and so Wakefield will kick off eventually. Having trouble with the kicking tee and the wind this afternoon at the Mobile Rocket. Back underway. Leeds starting 20 metres out from their own line. Pass on the inside to Johnson, who's taken down 30 metres out from their own line. Butcher at half-back plays the ball on the inside, and again they make that 10 metres as they seem to make at least 10 metres on every tackle, do the Rhinos at the moment. Butcher again, dummy half to Prim to Stavely. Stavely now over the halfway line, or just short of the halfway line as she's tackled. And the Wakefield line think the ball's going to the left. It is going to the left. It's back into the arms of Prim, who shows the ball to the defenders and passes on the inside. Wakefield begging for numbers out onto that left-hand side. Cutt was looking for them, but they've gone to the right this time. Stavely again. Good tackle there from Wakefield, taken down, and we've got the last tackle. What will Leeds do here? Good defensive set here from Wakefield, but they've got to make sure they keep hold of the ball this time. The kick goes high from Gaines, bounced, and bounces okay for Wakefield. Although Leeds pick it up, it is still the last tackle, so they've got to work out what they're doing here. Another big kick. It's almost a drop goal this time, and it will eventually go out on for a 7-tackle reset. So not the best end of the set from Leeds, so I can see what they were trying to do. Can Wakefield take advantage with the tap restart on the 20-metre line as they make big hit there from Stavely, and Wakefield just short of the 40-metre line, trailing by 24 points to nil as we head towards the half-time interviews. Zanre makes 10 metres there. And, again, Leeds defence stifling the Wakefield attack here, just over the 40 now. Zanre half-back, dummy half, either looking for options. Arms of Ryan. Pryan runs across and it's back into the arms of Reynard. Is taken down. Wakefield just haven't got enough ball in hand. This one, Reynard's down injured this time, so another break in play. Yeah,
I think she cracked the back of her head on the turf there. She felt that one.
Yeah, Chris Chester mentioned in the build-up to the game yesterday, or asked him on Tuesday when he did the press, how the surface would be an advantage or not. Obviously, taking on the team who usually play on the synthetic surface down at London. And he said it's really hard. Won't make much difference. So it is a hard surface out there this afternoon here at the Mobile Rocket.
Yeah, I think Jess Woods will agree with that. She got the same last week. She got put on her backside and banged her back of her head, and she went off a bit groggy. She's fine for today. I think she's in, but
she is indeed. As Wakefield look to move the ball down the right-hand side through Moxon, who's going to be pushed back a couple of metres, and Wakefield last tackle on the halfway line, looking for Ryan, who will put the ball between two this time, and eventually Wakefield Leeds pick the ball up at the second bounce. And again, good run back there. No real chase of the kick from Wakefield. Maybe a sign perhaps of their tiredness with all the defensive effort they've done in this first half, as Leeds look to add to that at 24 points to nil lead as Prim is taken down just short of the halfway line. Live at the Mobile Rocket Stadium this afternoon. Leeds, of course, third in Super League, the reigning and defending Challenge Cup winners. Let's go one stage further this year and win the grand final, which they missed out on last year in their first season, as Leeds now move up to the 30-metre line. A couple of tackles left in hand. What can they do this time? Gaines runs across the line, drops it off to Prim, who runs inside to the 20. I'm sure she's desperate for a try this afternoon. Done plenty of work since she's come onto the pitch, but she's down now and picks up a penalty.
I don't think she was trying to get up then. She's she got that one though. Going to do well to keep them out here at Wakefield.
Yeah, just before half-time as well, as Prim, again, with a ball in hand, is taken down just about 5 metres out from the line. Leeds moving it onto this right-hand side, and will they need to move it any further? Have they got the ball down? It's close. No, held up once again. Laurie Halloran just signing for the Rhinos in the last couple of weeks. Made her debut last week in that draw against St Helens. The ball 10 metres out again with Prim, who's doing a lot of work here so far for the Rhinos since coming off the bench. England international as the ball's playing out, and inside, nice pass there from Gaines to Staveley, who's just taken out short of the line. Plenty of defensive effort from Wakefield here, but will they be stretched out on that left hand side? Well, they won't be by a pass like that, and Leeds' error there. But last tackle we saw last time out, even with the kick, Wakefield unable to keep them out, and it's close again. Is she over? Referee's checking. That says yes. Here's another try for the Rhinos just before half-time to go into a 28 points to nil lead.
I didn't think you were going to give that one, because
no.
What is it, if the touch he stays on the flag, he doesn't think it's a try. If he goes to the dead ball, it does. I think that's what they usually do, the touches. Or maybe is it the other way around? But I know if they stay on the line, they've got to run through to the dead ball if they think it's a try, or stay on the flag if they don't. So.
And we were joking before the match that we might not be able to guess tell who all the try scorers were. I think that was Butcher this time, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll wait for Leeds Rhinos to tweet it out. It is Butcher who will be taking the conversion, though. So she'll try from this left side.
Is that 28, Rich?
I believe it is. The last time we did this together in the Saints game, we got the score right and everyone else got it wrong. So a lot of pressure on us.
I've never seen a Women's Super League game where everybody's agreed the score.
You think it'd be simple, wouldn't you? You think it would be. This is rugby league, though. As Butcher looks to convert. Good effort. Very good effort. Very good effort from Butcher. And that makes it 30 points to nil to the Leeds Rhinos.
Can't be much away from the interval.
They've had a couple of stoppages, haven't they? They weren't long stoppages, so
we're 43 minutes from whistle, so more than 3 minutes extra. Probably a couple more minutes, I guess.
Yeah, possibly. I'm sure it was Butcher. Thanks to Leeds Rhinos Twitter. They say 37 minutes have gone, so yeah, 3 minutes is probably right. Their timing is as accurate as
and the Leeds Twitter guy is just actually sat on the side of us as well.
He's on the inside though. We've got the breeze here tonight. It's a nice breeze here at the Mobile Rocket as Wakefield kick off. Unfortunately for them, once again, Leeds do like to let this ball bounce today, taking no risk in terms of knocking the ball on from the kick-off, and there they break, and this is another good chance for the Rhinos to further extend their lead, but a good run there, and Wakefield eventually make the tackle 45 metres out from the Leeds post, or rather 5 minutes out from the halfway line would be the easier way of putting it, as Leeds look to extend that lead and move up onto the inside of the field, and it's another breakaway here from the Rhinos, but the shirt is pulled back. Any way of stopping him you can get is the key here, and it's another penalty. Yeah, good run there from the Rhinos.
Yeah, Alicia pulling her down by a shortstop. She's impressed me as Alicia. She's only 17, but she's not took a step back.
As we saw last week.
Yeah, and Stavely in that earlier set were pointing at her, and the next tackle she ran straight at her, and Alicia straight around the legs. She's really impressed this season. She's fearless.
Chloe Kerrigan went there with the run for the Rhinos, drawing the penalty. As Leeds come on to this right-hand side, it's in the arms of Webster off the bench, who's taken down about 5 metres out. So again, another good opportunity here for Leeds to extend that lead, looking to not to get a penalty there this time Wakefield, but over from dummy half, and Leeds have extended that lead. Unfortunately, a couple of late tries in this first half from a Wakefield perspective.
That Butcher.
I think it may have been. And that makes it 34 points. And Butcher goes back to back in terms of tries. So 34-0. Leeds, as we mentioned, they have a few of their experienced players out, or bigger name players, but forward pack doing the work for them again, laying the platform, and very little possession for Wakefield, and Leeds able to take advantage. And, Butcher will line up the kick. I'd say slightly easier than the last one, but with this wind, nothing's easy. And that one straight through the sticks. Why was she kicking from the start? And that is where the referee blows up. 36 points to 0 at the half for the Leeds Rhinos. 2 tries from Abby Eatock, 2 tries from Hannah Butcher late on, Tasha Graves, Danielle Anderson and Shannon Lacey with the others. 7 tries then in the first half for the Leeds Rhinos, who, well, I don't think they'll be necessarily too happy with their performance. A few unforced errors, a bit of not cockiness, but overplaying the ball when they didn't need to in the early stage, but they seem to have corrected that as the half has gone on. For Wakefield, just not had too many chances to do much with the ball, and they'll be hoping to do something with the ball in the second half, but Leeds will be hoping to give them very few opportunities, but it looks like Wakefield are going to have to do it with only 3 interchanges as well, which is a bit of a concern for them.
Yeah, Katie Mead, I think she went over on her ankle. I think that's her afternoon over. So yeah, she's starting prop, so a prop down, which I think they only had 2 forwards on the bench as well. So yeah, they're going to be up against this big experienced pack of Prim Anderson and Stavely, Johnson at loose. I think they just need to slow them down, and I think that's what they were trying to do there when they gave that penalty away that eventually led to that try. So yeah. Lots of effort, but obviously there's a big difference in personnel still, isn't there?
Indeed. Doing it tough, trying, but Leeds just that cut above. Well, they are 3rd in the table. They are the reigning Challenge Cup winners. 36-0 at half-time here at the Mobile Rocket Stadium. 36-0 to Leeds at half-time. They've not appeared yet for the second half of this Betfred Women's Super League encounter. Elsewhere this afternoon, and it is a victory for Toulouse in the Championship qualifying semi-final. They've beaten York 44-6, which means they travel to Toronto next week in a transatlantic, trans-European exciting mega clash. York will be at home to the winners of tomorrow's game between Lee and Featherstone. I believe it's a 6:30 kick-off.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that.
At the Lee Sports Village.
It's waiting around all day for that game.
Yeah, could be.
And then coming home across the 62 at 10:30. No doubt it'll be closed.
It'll be always closed. Always closed. So anyone who's been on the M62 recently will realise. Hello to all of you watching, by the way, live on Facebook. Give us a share, give us a like, all the things you're supposed to do. Thanks to Janice and Sai, Carrie and Christopher who've been commenting. Comment away on the game. Plenty of Leeds fans watching this afternoon. They'll be very happy with that first half performance. 36-0. Seems here reminiscent of when Scotland played Estonia and they didn't turn up in Tallinn back in the 90s. Wakefield are out here ready for the start of the second half, and there's no Rhinos as of yet. Referees here as well. Brace of tries from Abby Eatock and Hannah Butcher, Tasha Gaines, Danielle Anderson and Shannon Lacey with the other tries for the Rhinos as they lead by 36 points to 0. Wakefield coach Ken Kerr just giving a few last-minute instructions to his side. I don't know where the Rhinos have gone. Do they think it's a 15-minute half-time or something? I don't know.
What happens if we kick off? Do we get the game?
Oh, no, they're here now.
Oh. Damn.
Oh, I thought they got lost or something in the... well, I have to say, if you've not been down below at the mobile rocket into the inner sanctum, it's not that hard to find your way out of the change rooms into the pitch. There's a big tunnel. It's not the big. It's not like the new North Stand at Leeds. Very flash, very plush. They have these booths to do interviews in for the media, which look like. Well, I wouldn't know what they. I'm told they look like the kind of things you get in certain clubs.
So now you've got a booth for people to not come in and ignore you. You've got all these booths and media, but no players. And that's usually our usual one, isn't it, Rich?
We'll speak to a few afterwards.
No, the ladies are always good to get an interview.
Oh, we're back underway. As Wakefield kick off towards Leeds, the centres, unfortunately, we said a little too often in that first half. And again, another good run from the Rhinos from Danielle Anderson, who scored the opening try of the game, and they're already up to about 15 metres short of the halfway line. So Leeds leading by 36 points nil here live from the Mobile Rocket Stadium in the Betfred Women's Super League, round 13. And an early stoppage in play as a Leeds Rhinos player is down injured. On comes the medical team. It's one of those games where you're not quite sure what Wakefield can actually change in the second half, because they haven't had the ball to do anything with it, really.
No, and the defence has been all right near the line. There's been what, 5 held up over the lines, so that could be what, 20 points extra at least on the scoreboard. So they've been trying.
Yeah, it's trying to manage expectations, and what can they do? What can they do in this second half? Well, here's Leeds continuing as they started with Amy Johnson. Her and Danielle Anderson have made plenty of metres throughout this game so far for the Rhinos. And here's Anderson again, nice spin move there, taking down 25 metres out. So Leeds in good position there, early stages of the second half, as Webster, fresh off the bench, plays the ball. And he goes to Butcher, already scored 2 tries. Here's Staveley, who makes the half break through the line, 15 short, and we're on to the final tackle of the set. Rhinos again coming onto this left-hand side through Gaines, who puts a little kick along the floor, and that is tapped back, unfortunately, by Ryan into the arms of the Leeds Rhinos, Abby Etuk, and that is her hat-trick, I believe. I think it was Etuk who picked up the loose ball anyway, but
number 30.
Yeah, not the best of starts for Wakefield. And I guess that's the thing, isn't it? If you can manage the things you can affect, there's nothing you can do about the things you can't affect. But unfortunately there, Ryan unable to take hold of the ball, batted it back, and Etuk was able to pick it up and probably, to use a cliche, won't score a simpler try all season than that. Takes Leeds past the 40-point mark here in the early stages, very early stages of the second half. And Butcher lines up the conversion. Doesn't seem to take as much time as her teammate Gaines did when she had the kicking duties. And Butcher straight through the sticks and makes it 42 points to nil in favour of the Rhinos. Very warm afternoon, not an afternoon you want to be defending, an afternoon you want to be running at the defence, and unfortunately for Wakefield, they've had plenty of defensive work to do in this game so far. And again, they will kick off. They just need possession of the ball. They need to force an error somehow from this Rhino side, who look like they can be forced to make errors in this game.
And I don't think it's above them. I think they did it at Castleford, didn't they? They were pretty much beaten, and I think they had the better second half, to be honest. So, however they achieved that last time, I think they just need to do something similar. And
well, there's an error. Kick off.
That'll go a long way to getting some belief, I think.
Yeah. Short kick. Well, that's the thing Ken Kerr mentioned in the post-match last week, apart from the winning the fight, which was a good line, was about the attitude and the confidence that scoring that late try, which did upset the Castleford fans, I have to say. They were very upset by that try. You're acting like you've won the grand final, they were saying. It's a bit harsh.
We haven't been nailed. It's a massive thing against a team that
dominant.
5 weeks previous put 100 points, 100 points to nil. So yeah, celebrate any sort of win, don't you?
Exactly. It's all about small victories as Moxon tries to get Wakefield on the board in this one. Nice run from her and takes Wakefield inside the 10. This is what Wakefield need more of. Bit of attitude, bit of go forward, looking to force errors from Leeds as they did from the kickoff as they run the ball up through Shackleton, who gets taken down about 5 metres out. Amri at dummy half. Plenty of numbers on the right hand side, and that's the way she goes into the arms of Ryan. Now Swain, the captain, who is met by a good 3 Rhinos players, and again he's still 5 metres out. Which way will she go this time? Numbers right and left, and again it's back onto the right with Ryan. Ryan into the arms of whoever's wearing 17, because they're not on the team sheet, and I think someone's changed shirt, haven't they, at half time?
Rebecca Braley.
Thank you very much. As they kick the ball, and it's taken, and Leeds will escape, and will they be able to get out of that 4 tackle situation? No, they won't. It was good news to see Braley back on there, because obviously she went off early on in the match, didn't she? So good to see her back on the field. As Leeds do make the break, and it is a good chance here for the Rhinos as they're taken down. Good tackle there by Moxon. Just over the 40-metre line. It's Etok who's already scored a hat-trick. Looking dangerous there again. Anderson already scored a try. Nice offload from her to Butcher. Butcher passes the ball off to Lacey. She's already scored as well this afternoon. And they can't stop the Rhinos at the moment, this Wakefield Trinity side, as they're taken up over the 30. And they're still going over the 20 now. On to the left-hand side this time. And the ball is still moving from the Rhinos as they make it over to the 10-metre line. I think that's Train who will play the ball on the inside this time. It's Gaines, and now back with Johnson, who is taken down just short of the line. So again, Wakefield's goal line defence, which was good in that first half, will it be so again in this second? They've already got 1 try, not the best pass to Gaines, who gets the ball, but there's plenty of space on that right-hand side, but was unable to get rid of the ball. Last tackle. He's looking to ask the questions here. They've got the numbers out on that right-hand side, and they are in for a try. It's a numbers game, and Leeds extend their lead further. They go 44 points to nil in front. I think it was Laverick there with the try for the Rhinos. 46 points to nil, I should say.
Yeah, number 5, Laverick in the corner. I think they were stood on the heels, Wakefield there, wasn't there? They let a couple of props come towards them, and they didn't meet them. And yeah, they just clumped together, didn't they? And then there's gaps on the outside that Leeds exploited to the full.
Numbers crucial there for the Rhinos as they go 46-0 up in this second half. So 2 very quick tries from the Rhinos in this second half. They just are able to make. She did, yes.
Oh, that's where I'm wrong. So it's
well, yes, it is. Yes.
I didn't put the goal on the first
one. The fact they were able to move from their own in goal there to the other end of the field in one set of 6 shows you how dangerous this Leeds Rhinos side can be with
that
ball
would have been
hand.
A great try if they'd have scored in that left-hand side, wouldn't it? I think he went through 8 pairs of hands. That would have been one for Checker Trade Try of the Week.
Well, I was shocked Wakefield didn't get nominated last week, but she does miss this time.
We did nominate herself, we just got ignored.
In fairness, though, Adam Hills was nominated, so there was no chance of winning.
No.
Wonder why they picked his try. I don't know.
Reach? Is it called Reach?
No, it's because he was one of the best tries. What are you trying to say?
Not that he's got the most followers.
I don't have my accreditation taken off me.
I ain't got any, so
that's all right then.
Can't take it off me.
I don't know what you have to do to have your accreditation taken off you. 46-0. The Leeds Rhinos lead then as Wakefield are about to kick off once again. Well, last time they got the ball back from a short kick-off. What will they do this time? Will they kick it this way? No, they will again kick to that same side, and Leeds have let the ball bounce every time this time, and it's a knock-on. Well,
I didn't see that myself.
No, the referee was a lot closer than we were. I didn't think she touched it, but
fingertips maybe on that one.
They've seen something there in the fact that Leeds are not dealing with kicks at the first attempt, and twice now they've taken advantage of that. Yes, they have taken advantage, just haven't scored from it. Can they score from the scrum? We're about to find out as the ball comes out onto this right-hand side, into the arms of Tara Moxon, running laterally, and gets the ball out onto the wing. But, oh, that is... Well, I thought it touched his flag up there, and then put it down again quickly. It was Anderson who just about stayed in the field of play.
We're either trying to get out of the way or...
It wasn't just me then, that's the... at least that's the case anyway. Moxon plays the ball to Zanre, who gets the ball into the arms of Ryan, who is taken down just outside the 10-metre zone. Can Wakefield get on the board? It took them to the last minute last week against Cassava. Can they get on board earlier against the Leeds Rhinos? It's Reynard who's taken down inside the 10. Which way are they going to go this time? Everyone's on the left, and that's the way they go. Ryan with ball in hand. As they're taken down again just in front of the sticks, and it's the last tackle. So Leeds haven't dealt with kicks too well in this game. What will they do this time? And they get a penalty. Plenty of appeals to the referee on that occasion for holding down in the tackle. And wait for getting another set. Not going to kick it. Now they're trying to work out what to do. As Swain takes the ball up, the captain tries to get as close to the line as possible. She's taken down about a metre short. As they go again to the left-hand side, ball being spun out there, numbers out on the left if they can find them. It's going to be close on towards the line. And now they switch it back to the right, where the numbers have shifted for the Rhinos. This swift in defence, and Wakefield are over the line, and they've scored a try.
And he made Shackleton there in a hooker, and yeah, that'll mean a lot to the girls. I think they celebrate every try in this competition this year, and every try is going to be well deserved, because they're up against it, aren't they, with the quality of the teams this year. So
yeah, it's great work there by Shackleton, wasn't it? Some great vision, rather. My colleague, Mr. Schofield, always talks about vision and awareness, and she certainly had that there to see the gap.
Yeah, she was rushing for a quick play of the ball. She knew if she got some quick play, she could probably just pick up and put over, and that's what she did. But she had to finish it as well, because she didn't get low enough to make it easy. She was still quite upright, and they tried holding her up, and she had to finish it as well.
Teams will hate being scored against by Wakefield this year, because they come into this league as very much the team expected to finish bottom, and that probably will be the case. They will hate the fact that they've conceded a try against Wakefield today, but that just goes to show when they get possession, when they're able to fashion a chance, they are able to do something with it. It's a case of getting as much possession as possible. The kick is just wide, so unable to convert the try. Good efforts. Wakefield on the board. Now Leeds lead by 46 points to 4. Makes things a lot more positive now, doesn't it? You feel, oh, we've scored a try. As we said earlier, little victories.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to the touch judge there, and
well, yeah.
He's got an hard job, hasn't he? Because his a blue sock, white shorts has hit the whitewash, and he thought it was Wakefield, and after processing it a bit further, he thought it was Leeds.
Our viewers who watch the NRL, and I don't usually, will have seen this morning Melbourne versus Cronulla, and a Melbourne player looked like he'd gone into touch but hadn't, and the touch, he waved the flag, and everyone got very upset about it. Referees can't do right for doing wrong, can they?
Did you ever see that video of a ball that bounced at about 6 yards out of touch and back into play, and the touch judge waved play on? You can't beat that one.
If only they had the video referee when Neil Summers scored that try here for Bradford Northern, he was nowhere near the line. I'm still bitter 25 years later. Leeds kick off, something we haven't said very often today, as they lead by 46 points to 4. Wakefield on the board through Annie Mae Shackleton's try there from dummy half. So Wakefield will start this time 20 metres out, trying to draw a penalty from the referee, but he's having nothing this time. It is the try scorer who makes another couple of metres. Wakefield who are playing this second half with only 3 on the interchange bench, with Mead going off in the first half.
I actually think it's 2 on the bench as well.
Is it 2 on the bench?
Yeah,
now?
I think Chloe Billington put in the group chat saying I can play the first half. So I think she's gone off to work now.
Well, Wakefield have knocked the ball on. You see, they should have played this game earlier. Wakefield have knocked the ball on, and Leeds now start 30 metres from the Wakefield line. So looking to make up for that error which saw them concede the try. Here's Frayne. It's an exciting play to watch, taken down just inside the 20 as the Leeds work the ball inside the middle. There again is Amy Johnson, who's done plenty of work this afternoon. It's always the the workhorses in the pack who don't necessarily get the credit they deserve for the work they do to lay the platform for the backs as Leeds get the ball out wide. It's into the arms of Etok, who's already scored a hat-trick, but a messy period of play. Then eventually the referee stops it and awards the scrum for the knock-on. And it will be Wakefield head and feet. So again, forced the error. Yeah, Leeds have gone a little bit back to how they were in the early to midway point of that first half, perhaps trying things they didn't need to do. A bit more composure. Quick scrum. Not only for the shot clock in this game, as Moxon evades one tackle but loses the ball, and penalty given.
A bit high that one, I think. She put her hand up as the Leeds player. She gets hit the shoulder and rose up, and that's caused Moxon to spill that one. So Emma Rhino looked fine touch.
So why do the women get the scrum done quickly as amateurs, and the men, who are well paid as we know, faff around all the time? I think we're learning something here. As Zanrake takes the tap, and it's Swain who will run the ball into the Leeds Rhinos place. Takes 3 to stop her. The Wakefield captain struggling to get up there as the Leeds players don't move, as they move the ball out with Zanrake to Ryan once again, and it's into the arms of Moxon once more, who was the one penalised. Oh, that's another big shot there by Danielle Anderson, and the ball Moxon runs out of the tackle, but the referee says no, go back, play the ball, you were tackled. Big hit there by Anderson. Again, as mentioned in the first half, she does run bigger than she is. Moxon plays the ball on halfway. Wakefield looking to go and get back-to-back tries here as Shackleton, the try scorer, is just pushed over, just over the halfway line. Again, Sanray appealing for a penalty. Referees must absolutely hate her as the ball is taken up once again, just short of the 40-metre line. Wakefield will be thinking about their last tackle options here again and looking to put pressure as they've got at least one more in their bag. Here's Ryan again. Nice flat pass into the arms of Brearley. Gets over the onto the 40 metre. This is the last. It's back to Ryan, who will kick the ball into the space between the full-back and winner. Again, they let it bounce, but not too bad this time. And it's a chance here for Etok to break out of the full-back position and get in to the centre of the field, but push back. Good defence there by Wakefield in the end. Pushes her back onto the 20-metre line. She's not got quite the knock-on as well.
I think referee were looking at 2 touches going, and you guys see that one? How did that one come out? He's given the knock-on, so that's a positive for Wakefield. But it's been a lot of positive in the last 5 minutes. I know that try and the play leading up to the try has been really positive. And
yes, he's to give them a kick up the backside at some point, hasn't he? As I think it's Etok who's down here at the moment, having brought the ball up, not the ball on. So 46-4 the scoreline in favour of Leeds, but a good chance here for Wakefield again to get back on the board. Chris says, keep going, Wakey, good first try. Come on, Claire Raynaud. Get involved on Facebook. Don't forget to share the video. Make sure everyone's watching. Live Rugby League on a Saturday afternoon. We'll never catch on. As earlier as mentioned, Toulouse beating York in the Championship playoffs. Tomorrow's games in Women's Super League, by the way. St Helens take on Wigan. Featherstone versus Bradford, both supposed to kick off at 2 o'clock, but check with the clubs before you travel. Tuesday, the League Leaders' Shield could be decided because the Castleford Tigers, well, unless Saints lose tomorrow against Wigan, then it's already done, isn't it? But Castleford will win the League Leaders' Shield should they beat the York City Knights, which, no disrespect to York, but you would expect them to do so on Tuesday. Next Sunday, Featherstone take on York, and then the final fixtures on the 29th of September. Super Sunday, we're calling it. Leeds versus Wigan, Saints versus Cass. So 2 massive games there. Both potential grand finals. Bradford versus York and Featherstone versus Wakefield. Final game of the season at the LD Nutrition Stadium. First trip there in a long time earlier in the season for the Featherstone Leeds game, which was a bruising encounter.
I think it's been hard for Featherstone, hasn't it? Because they've always been, up till the Super League era, they've always been the big dogs in the women's game, haven't they? And I think since the introduction of this and the movement of players around, I I think they've not been the top end, have they? And but they've got some good players. I think they've got 2 in the England squad.
It's a bit like the women's football, isn't it, where Doncaster Bells ruled the roost for a long, long time. And then money appeared. Not that much money has appeared in rugby league, just to, in case people think there's lots of money in this. But yeah, it's the natural order of things, and once you get brands such as Leeds getting involved, and Saints lending their name to teams, they just change things slightly. It looks like we've seen the last of Etuk today there. That run off the kick looks like her last play of the game, walking off groggily there, but she'll be happy with her try scoring haul today, 3, and filling in a very difficult position for the Rhinos, because obviously Caitlin Beavers, I think I'm not one to judge who's on the Woman of Steel shortlist or not, but I'm surprised she wasn't on there. Plays know far more than I do.
Kelsey Gentle's in front of the reigning Georgia Roach.
Yeah.
That's another big call, isn't it?
Plenty of tries from Gentles this year, of course. Scored plenty here in that Challenge Cup semi-final victory we won't mention too much about. Interesting to see who gets the award in a couple of weeks' time, as Wakefield now looking to get and more points on the board. They trail 46-4 as Zanway's going to go onto the right-hand side into the arms of Swain, who again runs the ball up. Leeds must have made some positional changes there, because Etuk has gone off, obviously, the fullback. Prim's not gone to fullback, we know that for sure. That won't surprise me. Zanway again, nice ball on the inside there, and Wakefield getting even closer again to the line. It's a Watt again this time. So they go to the right-hand side. Ryan looking for the pass, but wasn't quite on this time, so takes the tackle, last one. Interesting to see who kicks the ball this time, because she's the one who would usually be doing so. Goes eventually and is batted down by a Leeds player. Is that going to be back to 1, or is it play on? It looks like it's play on. Unless someone can get hold of the ball, it'll be play on, and it'll be play on to Wakefield, because Leeds couldn't drop on the ball. It's good news for Wakefield. They get another set. Back-to-back sets for Wakefield. As they move in to the 30-metre zone, can Wakefield extend their points scored in this second half? Not with a pass like that, but Watt takes over the ball. And they lose a few metres there, Wakefield. So just a bit more composure required as Zanway runs up and gets over the 30-metre line. Looks like they're coming down this right-hand side again, Wakefield, and they are. Ryan with the ball. The pass inside to Reynard, who is met by 3 Rhinos players. Hunting pat these Rhinos women. There's always 2 or 3 in the tackle. Last one. Ryan in the right position this time, but it goes onto the left-hand side. Nice kick there by Matthews off the bench, but well, it wasn't a nice one in the end because it bounces out. But it will be a 7-tackle set for the Leeds Rhinos. Leading by 46 points to 4. Referee not happy there with where the ball was played on the...
Good job Ches is not here. Same cross, isn't it? It's the...
Indeed it is. Get involved on Facebook. Make sure you share the video. Leave the comments live. Betfred Women's Super League action here this afternoon as Leeds lead by 46 points to 4. Not the best pass there. Looked like that one went forward, but the referee should judge it not to have done so. So Leeds scored for a few minutes here. Bit of pressure on them as they come up towards the centre of the field. Nice run there from the Rhinos as they get just short of the halfway line. Kerrigan there with the run. Not happy, looks to the referee, but nothing doing. Prim there with the ball on the inside, and again they're over the 40 through Anderson, who again makes plenty of metres after contact. Nice late hit there. Not sure the referee was happy there, and there's a Rhinos player down injured at the moment. I think it's a Rhinos player down injured anyway, but both teams wearing white shorts. It's difficult to tell. A bit of a coming together. A bit of frustration here from the Rhinos players. Wakefield not letting them have it all their own way.
Yeah. I think Danica on Erica there, and I don't think Erica had back down, especially verbally anyway.
I mean, obviously we don't want to see these kind of things. We get in trouble. But yeah, there are questions over how the women's game and disciplinary works when This is pretty much what Danica says in her column this month in 4020. The players are asked to act professionally, representing professional clubs and whatever, but the disciplinary is just treated like the amateur game and no one knows what's going on. Everything's kept a secret. Transparency. I'll never catch on. Wakefield player back up. And then we'll resume with the Leeds play the ball. Watt, who was down, receiving treatment, but she's okay, ready to continue. As Anderson plays the ball, and they go out onto the right-hand side through Butcher. Scored 2 tries in the first half. Nice handoff there from the Rhinos as the pass. Well, good work there by Leeds. The pass wasn't on, and she didn't throw it. They play the ball, and again it's in the arms of Prim, who runs up, cuts up on the inside, looks for the pass, but again, the pass isn't on. She holds on, and 3 Wakefield players in the tackle. Eventually she's held and plays the ball. It's the last. Here's the kick from Gaines, and Moxon deals with this one, but she's got 2 Rhinos looking to push her back, 3 Rhinos looking to push her back. She's got no help, and it will be a goal line dropout. So good chase there by Leeds, forced a goal line dropout, and maybe Wakefield's momentum, as much as it was in this game, has started to drift away.
Yeah, I think if Leeds get a try here, I think Wakefield's head will go down, because it's definitely been up in this, what, 20 minutes. There's been definitely a bit more in this half than there was the first.
Another Wakefield player down into there. Is that Matthews down there, I think, wearing 22 for Wakefield? Although I'm not sure. Referee eventually waves the fidge on. Looks like she's going to be coming off anyway, but sort of further delay to proceedings. You are joining us on Facebook this Saturday evening. Sunny afternoon here at the Mobile Rocket. 48 points to 4 in favour, or 46 points to 4 I should say, in favour of the Leeds Rhinos. They've got that big game in a couple of weeks' time against the Wigan Warriors. Interesting how they approach that one, because by that point they might have 3rd wrapped up. Whether they go with a similar team to today, or whether they bring the names back, because we've seen in Super League, the men's version, you don't want to lose momentum with your star players losing or missing out on games, because you're trying not to risk them. So Matthews hobbles off the field.
So that's 1 sub now.
Yeah, Jess Woods came on to replace her while she was down. So Wakefield is ever having to do it tough here this afternoon. And the dropout wasn't the best. Only just went the 10, and Gaines picks it up on the fall. So it's Prim at dummy half. I think they're going to go left this side, and they do. And this should be another Leeds try. And it is another Leeds try. And I think that's Webster who's got it. Paige Webster, one of the subs.
28, is it?
I believe so. It's either 28 or 26, I can't tell the numbers. And that will push Leeds past the half century. Or to the half century, rather. 50 points to 4. It seems that Leeds starting to push again. This Wakefield side, it will be Webster, because I can see the 26 is off the field at the moment. So Webster with the try for the Rhinos, her first of the game, as they go 50 points to 4 up. And Butcher with the conversion attempt. Nails it. Good kick from Butcher. Makes you wonder why she wasn't kicking from the start of the game, but
who was kicking? I can't.
It was Gaines who started, yeah, and then Butcher's taken over. I think she's kicked all but 1, but 52 points to 4 anyway. The scoreline. Leeds in control, as you'd expect. Just to get the points difference, won't make much of a difference, because they're on plus 179 before today's game. St Helens plus 357 in second place above them in the table.
think Butcher was the kicker before they arrived on the hill, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Before Hill took the kicking duties.
Maybe it was just to give Gaines a chance today with the boot. Looking for options if needed in the later part of the season. Here's the kick-off. Oh, taken on the full by, well, let's say taken on the full by Leeds, but knocked on the full. There, but yeah, referee will bring them back for the first one of those and give Wakefield the scrum 30 metres out. Leeds cannot deal with the kick-off today, which you would say is one of the basic basic parts of the game. Very strange, very strange. Here's the scrum. Again, pat down quickly by these two sides, which puts the men to shame. And well, I say quickly, it was one player short from Leeds, so the referee will force them to start again. And the ball comes out, and the ball is back in the arms of Ryan. So Wakefield looking to take advantage of that error from the kick-off once again. Not the best of passes, but into the arms of Wakefield's Rebecca Anderson, who will be tackled eventually. Just short of the 30-metre line. So they go back onto the left, that's where all the numbers are, of course. And back off the bench is Georgia Cutt. Trying to work out if Wakefield have got any players left. Zanley's asking for players to come up on the right, but they go to the left with Ryan. Ryan with the ball on to Watt, and Watt will be taken down by two Rhinos players and pushed back as well. Good defence here. It has been for the majority of the game from the Rhinos. They come back onto the right through Ryan. Ryan with the ball dropped off on the inside. Not able to make many metres past this Scrooge-like Rhinos defence. Ryan, ball in hand, moves to the right. That was a good pass into the arms of Reynard, who's taken down 15 out. Last tackle. Again, the kicks have been dangerous here for Wakefield. Will it be so again into that left-hand side? Knocked on, not backwards. What was the referee going to say here? It was not backwards, and Leeds will start about a metre out from the line, and we've got another Wakefield player down injured, it looks like. So Leeds will start on their own line. Well, they've scored from this position earlier on in this second half. 52 points to 4, the current scoreline in favour of the Rhinos. Last year's runners-up in the grand final. Looking to go one further in 2019.
I guess Jess Woods that's down.
She's only just come off on the field, hasn't she? In the last 5-10 minutes or so. Wakefield in the wars this season. And I think Woods is there, right? Is that Woods there, the 18? Oh no, I'm looking at 16. So I can't tell the numbers.
Oh no, you're right. That
Am
is 18, yeah, Woods.
I can't tell these numbers apart.
She's got blonde hair and a knee strapped. Who else is that other than Jess Woods?
Well, he's made another couple of changes. They're able to rotate their bench.
Oh, it's Georgia Cutt. I think, yeah.
She's back up. Just hobbles away slightly. She's got the knee bandage on, so you're right on the knee bandage. Now Leeds will start. trying to gain. I don't think Leeds really need to steal a couple of metres here. No disrespect. But I think they can make those metres on their own. These rugby players. As Leeds come out from their own 20, looking to extend their lead, and leading by 52 points to 4 here in the Betfred Women's Super League. Wakefield have done plenty of defensive effort this afternoon when they've got on the board. It's always a positive. Unfortunately, Leeds have gone on the board a lot more times, but you expect that of the reigning Challenge Cup winners as they make their way up to the 40-metre line. Again, Prim waiting at dummy half, but moves out of the way this time. As Gaines will get the ball. Try score in the first half. Kicks the ball between winger and fullback, and it is Moxon, the fullback, who picks the ball up and brings it back out, looking for the way around Gaines, and in fact does get around her into a sea of players, all in very similar coloured shirts, and is eventually taken down by a couple of Rhinos players 30 metres out from her own line. So it's Wakefield looking to get something here, but Cutt unable to make too much then, and he's actually pushed back, so Wakefield losing a couple of metres there. As this Leeds defence remains in full effect. What they're taking down at the 30-metre line, and they are stifling Wakefield here at the moment, giving Wakefield no room for manoeuvre. Ball in the arms of Ryan. Ryan to Swain, who makes a good 5 metres there and is eventually taken down on the 40. He's getting ready for that final tackle play, which will be coming up shortly. Here's Ryan. Ryan looking, but unable to get away that pass, and Wakefield is not able to make the yards at the moment. Still on the 40. Ryan's remained down, but gets up and ready to play the ball. Last tackle. I think Zanro was expecting it that high. Kicks the ball high. Will Leeds deal with this kick this time? Well, that looked like a knock-on from Anderson, if she got hold of it. What's the referee going to say this time? Say she didn't touch it this time, and Leeds will start about 5 minutes in front of where Wakefield ended. So Leeds in a very good position here to extend their lead as they go up past the 40-metre line through Lacey, who's already scored 1 this afternoon for the Rhinos. They get the ball moving into the centre of the field. 20 metres out then. Leeds looking dangerous once again. Which way will they go this time? Going to the left-hand side. It's in the arms of Webster, who's already scored 1 for the Rhinos this afternoon. Hat-trick for Abby Eatock, 2 for Hannah Butcher. She'll be to complete that hat-trick as well. It's in her arms right now. She'll be good with the boot as well. She gets the ball out on to the wing, and this is another walking try for the Rhinos as they go further in front. 56 points to 4. I think it was Fran Goldthorpe that time. Trickier kick for Butcher, but good hands from Leeds. Saw the numbers on the outside and took advantage, although good work from Goldthorpe to move on to the or make the kick slightly easier by moving a good 20 metres out, 20 metres inside. Don't mess around with the kicks either. So I ask this question: why do the men faff around so much? Let's get on with the game. No need for a shot clock. Pushes it wide this time, so you can obviously make the argument why should have taken more time. 56-4 to the Rhinos.
I think if it just wasn't for the injuries, I think the women's game would be a lot more free-flowing game than the men's, wouldn't it? It's just the injuries that breaks the game up, because, like you say, they don't mess about at scrums, they don't take the time at the kicks. It's just sometimes the injuries break the game up a little.
When we speak to the key people involved afterwards, I shall ask the players, I shall say, why don't you mess around as much as the men do?
Probably.
I'm looking forward to the
answers. Not coached into them, is it?
Blame the coaches. Wakefield kick off. Leeds leading by 56 points to 4 as the sun starts to go behind the clouds here at the Mobile Rocket Stadium. Betfred Women's Super League action here live on the Wakefield Trinity Ladies Facebook page if you haven't already. Give us a like, give us a share. Keep up to date with what's going on with the women's team here at Bellevue. Mobile Rocket. That's that Leeds again over the halfway line. One more game to come, of course, for Wakefield this season away at Featherstone on the 29th. It'll be a good atmosphere if you can get down there. Always a nice battle between Featherstone and Wakefield. Don't see it in the men's too often these days, but be a good battle between the women in a couple of weeks.
We nearly did.
Nearly. Might be. Might win the playoffs. Good luck for Fev at Lee tomorrow in the elimination semi-final. Another breaking play. You mentioned injuries. Looks like it might be cramp this time. Cramp is the one injury that the players can solve themselves by just bashing their legs, it seems. They all become experts on how to solve cramp, but... I
thought that was dislocated knees on it from Joe Weston.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah, I don't think the physio like we're happy with that one.
A few Wakefield players just taking the opportunity to take a sit down here, and they've put a lot of their effort in here, and you have to keep reiterating this point. They've done a lot of defence. I'd love to see the stats after this game to see how much defensive effort they've put in to this performance. Leeds have defended well. They've given Wakefield very little room for manoeuvre. But 56 points to 4. As we said before, and I think people who don't necessarily keep a close eye on the women's game don't realise there's a definite gap between the top 4 or 5 sides well, in the league table you can see yourself, and the rest of the division, it is hard for these teams to compete against the bigger teams. But hopefully, as more players get involved, it's 21 by 21, isn't it? The campaign the RFL are wanting more women to be playing the game, bigger talent pool, better it is for everyone.
Well, the curtain raiser for this one with the Wakefield Trinity girls, under 16s versus Fryston, I think they call themselves, but I think they are the feeder team for Castleford. Although there's Cutsike as well, they've got a girls team as well. So Fryston and Castleford got 2 amateur girls teams. I don't think there's many in the Wakefield district at the moment. I don't think Stanley have got one. Don't think Eastmore. I think it was Shawcross, I think, is if you're going to go out that way to look at the catchment area for Wakefield.
It's a growing sport. I keep saying this. This injury's not cramp as I.
No, I think it was a lower right leg.
Yeah. I thought the way the players were surrounding her, it looked like it was less serious than it is, but sadly that's not the case as Anderson's come back on the field, so will be a change here for the Rhinos. And as you know, rugby players, whatever gender, when they're hurt they do stay down. They don't roll around or anything, no histrionics. And the players just get on with it, just get set up, ready to play the ball. Closing stages here at the Mobile Rocket. Drop call. Play for both of their teammates to get off the field. They're ready to go. So Anderson's back on, and Leeds back in possession, just short of the 10-metre line. Just got a couple of tackles left in the bag. 56 points to 4 in favour of the Rhinos. Butcher, ball in hand, drops the ball off on the inside. It's back to Gaines. Gaines looking for the pass to Prim. Prim looking to go forward. Prim is over for the try. That means I have to speak to her afterwards now. She'll be happy. And Danica Prim off the bench, straight in with the try. One of the most popular players in the game, apparently, they tell me.
I think some of her teammates were laughing at her then that she didn't know how to score it. She got on the line and she was like, how do you do it at this point in time?
It's not quite the... we mentioned Kelsey Gentles earlier, her fall on the bum thing, which she seems to have cut out of play, because that could shorten your career. The amount of pressure you're putting on your spine there, jumping down to score a try. Not quite the Chris Ashton swan dive. But she's over, and she scored, and that is 60 points to 4. In favour of the Leeds Rhinos this afternoon, and everyone will be smiling about that one. Butcher with the conversion attempts. Another one straight through the post.
She don't really have a run up, does she? Butcher, she just stands there, swings the leg.
So watching Jamie Jones Buchanan.
Did he kick one at the...
Yeah, did the old toe poke yesterday. Paul Anderson hates being asked about it. Remember, he scored for Saints, and he scored a conversion on his final. Yeah,
a good one.
Hates
one under the post like that.
Yeah, we asked him about it on the radio once, and he hates being asked about it. Apparently, I guess if your job is not to do that, then that's all people ever remind you of. I don't know.
Yeah, but you forget about the
all the good stuff he did as he's all those meters you made, all those tackles you made. But tell us about that kick, Paul. Speaking of kicks, Wakefield that kick off, and Leeds take this one on the full this time to Tasha Gaines. Runs the ball up, and he's taken down 35 metres out from her own line. She's been solid as a replacement for Courtney Hill this afternoon in the halves alongside Hannah Butcher. Hill, of course, on the shortlist for the Woman of Steel Award. Also Casford's Kelsey Gentles and Emily Rudge of St Helens, who play Wigan tomorrow lunchtime. That'll be a cracking game. I don't think that's on the app either, which is a shame, because that'll be a good one to watch. As Leeds run it down this left-hand side through Anderson, who bumps off Zanray, and he's eventually taken down just short of the 20-metre line. So Leeds looking to end this game on a flourish. Play the ball to Gain, slow play the ball, kick. I'm guessing we must be late on in this one for the kick to be played that early. Well, I could be wrong, frequently am. Nothing comes of it, and might forget the ball.
We're well into injury time, but there has been quite a few injuries on there, so We might have a couple of minutes left.
Or if they got the word from someone there, it just seemed a strange time to kick, didn't it? It wasn't as if it was aimed at hundreds and hundreds of Leeds players in space, but never mind. Leeds still leading, 62 points to 4. As Wakefield try and make something in the closing stage of the game. Hannah Watt, as the breeze makes things a lot cooler now. The sun is starting to disappear at the Mobile Rockets. Watt plays the ball. Ryan looks for the pass, and it's dropped by the Wakefield player, and Anderson tries to pick it up, but I thought that one went backwards, but be a scrum anyway, and Leeds will get possession back from it. Just short of, just inside the 30, so possible last chance for the Rhinos. They do work hard as a pack, these Rhinos, and that's their greatest strength as a side. And they've got so many exciting backs, don't get me wrong, but it's the forwards who do plenty of work for them. As the ball is in the arms of Butcher, who's been impressive this afternoon, looking to complete the hat-trick, makes the break, gets past 1 but can't get past 2, gets the ball off on the outside and leads in with a chance here. Gothorpe again just taken down, just short of the touchline, so everything's on this left-hand side then as Leeds come back looking for that final flourish in a decent performance. It's the playoffs just a round away now for the Rhinos as they are looking to go in, and they are in, and it is, I think, Shannon Lacey there with her second of the game to make it 66-4.
The referee will say that's about it after this kick, I think.
I think you're probably right. Well, the coaches now have started shaking hands with each other, so and the subs are taking their bibs off to go shake hands, so I think overall lots of effort from Wake. It's difficult, isn't it, because having to put in so much effort, so much defensive work. Well, they scored, so that's a positive.
Shannon Lacey's kicking tee off Hannah.
So he's done enough today. So that's third different kicker for the Rhinos. It's interesting how Leeds play that final game against Wigan. They'll know going into it where they'll be in terms of finishing positions. Looks like they'll have an away semi-final. The kick from Lacey is short. And that is that. Leeds Rhinos 66 points to 4 winners here against the valiant Wakefield Trinity side in the Betfred Women's Super League. Hat-trick of tries from Abby Eatock, 2 from Hannah Butcher, and tries from Madison Laverick, Tasha Gaines, Daniel Anderson, 2 from Shannon Lacey, and Danica Prim with 1 as well. Wakefield's sole score through Annie Mae Shackleton. Look forward to seeing that one on the replay because it was a nice little run from a dummy half. Again, Wakefield come out with plenty of injuries, which is always a concern. A couple of knocks for Leeds as well. Wakefield, one last game for them, a couple of weeks' time, 29th of September. Get down to support the women against Featherstone Rovers. Should be a tasty local derby. We're down at the LD Nutrition Stadium for Leeds. They're at home to Wigan on the 29th. And of course, they'll have a playoff semi-final to come following that. Best of luck to the Rhinos for the rest of the season. And one more game for Wakefield in their inaugural Women's Super League campaign. Can they get a second win against the second win of the season as they take on Featherstone in the final match? We'll find out in a couple of weeks' time.